Here's only a quick video. People always say, oh, have you ever sinned? Have you ever sinned? Well, yeah, of course I've sinned. But that's why Yeshua came to die and shed his blood, so it would be forgiveness of sins. So Israel could be remarried back to God, and the Gentiles could be grafted in through the covenants of promise. Paul tells you we live by hope, and in Ephesians chapter 2, it tells you, if you, before Christ, you was without God in the world, be having no hope, being strangers from the commonwealth of Israel, from the covenants of promise. So what that's telling you is, you need to be grafted in to Israel. Because they all say, oh, we're in the new covenant, we're in the new covenant. No, what a load of rubbish. Because you read Acts chapter 3, it tells you when the times of the refreshing come from the presence of the Lord, when he sends you Yeshua Messiah. So it was the refreshing, which goes with Isaiah chapter 28. It says, this is the rest where you may cause the weary to rest. And this was the refreshing, but they would not hear. And what was it the refreshing of? It was the refreshing of the Holy Covenant. Because, come on, because he took away sacrificial law. He nailed it to the cross, like it tells you in Colossians 2:14. It also explains it in Galatians chapter 4. Hebrews 10 as well is telling you that the sacrificial law was the image of things to come, and not the very image, which was talking about when Christ came to be that sacrifice. 1 John, I believe it's 1 John 2 tells you, anyone who says they have met with him and continues to sin is a liar, and the truth, the spirit of truth, is not in them. And the reason you know that's the spirit of truth, because it says if anyone continues to sin, the spirit of truth is not in them. Because in John chapter 14 verse 15 on, it tells you, keep my commandments and I will go to the Father and pray, and he will send you another comforter, even the spirit of truth, and he shall abide with you forever, and we shall not leave you comfortless. Come on, boy. So that's how you know. And also in Acts it tells you the spirit is given to those who obey. So unless you're obeying, you're not going to get the spirit of truth. And that's why you're all under the spirit of error. I believe it could be 1 John 5, it tells you, and this is how we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error, because those who are the spirit of truth will hear our words and understand what we're saying. So you was warned all the way through the Bible, there's the spirit of error, spirit of whoredom, and you're all under the spirit of whoredom because you love your Christmas tree, you love your jack-o'-lanterns, you love all of this, even though Jeremiah chapter 7 tells you not to do Easter. I believe I can't remember, somewhere in Ezekiel 2 it tells you they're all weeping for Tammuz. Come on, you're all worshipping the sun. It tells you they're all with their backs to me, worshipping the sun. And who else is that? You're worshipping on Sun God Day. Who's it talking to? Jeremiah 10 tells you, learn not the ways of the heathen, for the custom of the people is vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the workman with the axe. They fasten it to the floor that it move not, with nails and hammers. They deck it with silver and with gold. They're upright as the palm tree. Like, how can you say that's not a Christmas tree? You even say, oh yeah, but it's an athrash pole. Yeah, but the problem with you saying the athrash pole is the Christmas tree is the modern day athrash pole. Like, I don't know, you was told to watch ye therefore, so that day doesn't overtake you like a thief, is all you all ever say is, oh, you don't know when the return of the Lord is, you don't know. No, we don't know the exact day or hour, but we know the seasons, man. We know the seasons, because Peter tells you, I don't want you ignorant of this, brothers and sisters, that a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are as a day. And what he was quoting Hosea chapter 6, where it tells you for 2 days he's going to revive us, which is like, revive us, you all know what revive means clearly. And on the third day he's going to lift us up and we'll live in his sight. So we know when it's going to be, because you know the seasons. Is all you've got to do is look out your window. You've got to look at the churches, and they're doing exactly the same thing as the world is. Exactly the same thing. Their Christmas, their Easter bunny, their jack-o'-lanterns. They all run round neighing after each other's wives, like it tells you in Jeremiah. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Outside they look all nice and sweet and seem like they want to do things, but inwardly they're murdering you in their heart, because they don't give two shits for you. They don't give a flying fuck, and that's the truth, that is. And it'd do my head in, because they all listen to these pastors in the fancy suits, but even though your Bible warns you, in the last days he's going to take the nothings and nobodies of society to shame the wise. You've got these pastors, they stood in the pulpit exalting themselves. They're exalting themselves in the pulpit. And it tells you, he who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. You need to humble yourself. You need to submit to the righteousness of God and not to your own self-righteousness, which is Christmas, Easter, or speaking peaceable words. I don't know, feed the poor. Yeah, yes, feed the poor, but he's not talking about food. He's talking about the word, because man does not live on bread and bread alone, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of the Lord. You're all just a wicked, stiff-necked, rebellious people, and you're seriously making me angry. And especially, Torah movement, you need to wake up. It's all prophecy about you. It tells you, I think is Deuteronomy 16, not to do these feasts until in the land or in the city that he puts his name in. You say, oh, but we are the temple, we are the temple. Yeah, but you're not a city, are you? You're not a city. And the reason he said we are the temple is because what it is, remember the Samaritan woman at the well? She said, I think it was the Samaritan woman at the well, where he said, you Jews say, our fathers worship upon this mountain, but you Jews say we must do it in Jerusalem. And he says, now I tell you that the time is coming when you'll never worship in this mountain nor in Jerusalem, because now the Spirit of God dwells in us, not in the temple. So that's how we are the temple of God. And you all say, oh, well, you smoke, you do this, you do that, you're defiling the temple. You all sat there eating... Come on, Tim. You're more sat there eating dirty swine's flesh and the broth of abominable things in your vessels, but then you're saying to a smoker, oh, you can't smoke, you can't have a drink. Yeshua came eating and drinking, and they called him a wine bibber and a glutton. John the Baptist neither came eating nor drinking, and they said he had a demon. Can't you see, no matter what, they will judge you by their own self-righteous judgment, but not by the true judgment of God, by the righteous judgment. Because it tells you in Leviticus 19 verse 15 on, you shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. You shall not respect the person of the poor, nor honour the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shall you judge your neighbour. So they all do unrighteous judgment and wicked judgment and respect the person. Oh, my pastor's got to be telling me the truth. He can't be sinning, he can't be lying. Blah, 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 blah. No, what you don't realise... Come here, boy. Sorry. What you don't realise is, them pastors are the ones lying to you, because they're the ones making merchandise of you, teaching you things your itching ears want to hear. Torah movement, this is the last one for you, and I gotta go because it's really raining now, my phone's getting wet. It tells you, Hosea 8, it tells you, because Ephraim has made... Are you alright? Sorry. Come on, boy. Yeah, sorry, cheers. There you go. It tells you in Hosea chapter 8, it tells you, I believe it's like verse 10, 11, something like that. It tells you, because Ephraim has made many altars to sin, Christmas, Easter, and all of that, many altars are going to be unto him to sin. He has shown you great things of his law, but they were counted as a strange thing. So he showed you that the feasts weren't supposed to be done to it back in the land where he put his name in, and not to be done in a land where it is profaned, but you didn't listen. It tells you they sacrifice the flesh, they sacrifice my offering, they eat it, but he accepts it not. So, all you need to do is keep the covenants of promise, which is to eat clean, and no, that's not blaming chicken, okay, because it's all people try and do is argue over chicken. Can you show me where the Bible tells you chicken is unclean? That is absolute rubbish. And they just find stumbling blocks in front of the Christian church for when they want to come out of the deception. Because, like, I went through it myself. I went through it. They was telling me not to eat chicken, you can't do this, you can't do that. And then eventually I realised, like, it was stumbling blocks. They tried to make me do the feast, they tried to do this, they tried to do that. But it's no good because they're just leading you to one place, and the feasters are going into great tribulation. Those who lead into captivity will go into captivity. The Beatitudes are wrought against them, but wrought for the servants who are doing the job. Because if you read Isaiah 66, and it tells you, blessed is the poor in spirit. Right, John? Right, yeah, not bad. Blessed in the poor in spirit. Because there's the kingdom of heaven or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But then if you go to Isaiah 66, it tells you the poor in spirit are the ones who tremble at his word. And then it goes on literally then to those people who tremble at his word. He who sacrifices an ox as if he slew a man. He who offers a lamb as if he cut off a dog's neck. So it's telling you that's against you feasters. You're feeding your own bellies, greedy dumb dogs, lying down loving to slumber, instead of looking for the lost sheep. You was like, and Judah, you done the same as well, because you just wanted the northern kingdom just to be totally forgotten about. So you've totally boffed it up, so now you're called the wicked family of Judah. Like, he is so fuming with all this rubbish, abomination stuff going on. Like, in Romans 3, it tells you there is no fear of God before their eyes. There is none that understand, there is none that understand, there is none that do good. He's like quoting, like our Romans 3 scripture is quoting Isaiah 6, is quoting Isaiah 59, is quoting some of the Psalms. Like, this is what you all twist and exhort Paul's scriptures and to your own destruction as you do the others. Just like Peter tells you. You all say, oh, Paul wrote a different gospel. No, he didn't. Peter tells you. He's saying the same thing as they did, but with the wisdom that God gave him. That's why he has many members, a different body. This is what it's all about. Because different people reach different people. So the different parts of the body reach different people to bring in new parts of the body. That's your idea. So I just hope you just get in covenant before it's too late. Judgment is coming.